I cheated on my wife with her sister. I don't regret it one bit. My wife was my high school sweetheart and childhood love. When I proposed at 20, she joyfully accepted. We could hardly wait to start our life together. We had our daughter at 26, and a few months later, our son. Our little family of 4 filled our hearts with so much joy. I cherished every moment with them. After high school, I got my degree in accounting. I worked hard after college to provide for them. I showered my wife and kids with gifts and flowers regularly, hoping to show them how much they meant to me. We lived the life we had imagined since we were teens. And yes, when we got married, we agreed to sign a premarital agreement. We went on dates very often and our bedroom life was amazing. I showered her and our kids with gifts and flowers 3 times a week. However, my wife then began to seem distant. Her secretive phone usage chipped away at my trust. I began to worry that something was wrong. Then I discovered she was having an affair. She told me our relationship was lacking, that I was absent and she didn't feel fulfilled. I initially wanted to leave the marriage for my own sake, though I stayed for the kids despite immense pain just to look at her. We attended couples counseling, which helped for a while. But after only 2 months, she confessed to spending nights with other men. She had even had a few men over to our house and into our bed, the bed in the home I had paid for. Divorce seemed inevitable but weighed heavy on my heart given how much our kids loved us. I didn't want them to have a negative view of their mother. Though grieving and in pain, I moved her into the guest bedroom while I stayed in our bedroom. Throughout all this turmoil, my wife's sister became my main source of support as my family wouldn't understand my pain. While I still loved my wife, I became aware that her sister's life had been made difficult due to favoritism towards my wife within her own family, likely because my wife was not the mistake baby. So my sister's wife was there for our kids, she would be at the house a lot, she picked up my kids, and did things with them. She was also home when my wife was home, but my wife didn't care. After 2 years of this, my kids started to call her mom. She didn't want them to, if they didn't want to, but they wanted to, which made me happy. Me and my wife's sister would spend a lot of time together and I loved it, and so did she. I had booked a trip to Fiji for me, my wife, and my kids. My wife's sister wanted us to try and fix things, which I tried to do for the first year but I stopped trying since she wasn't. So, I went to my wife and told her about it. She yelled at me and told me to FCK off and that she wasn't coming. And I kid you not, she referred to her own kids as those little morons. She said they weren't hers anymore and it was a mistake to even have them. This threw me off, but I did not persist, so I asked my wife's sister if she wanted to go on the trip with us and told her what happened. She said yes, and we arrived last week. I, my wife's sister, and my kids have had a blast. They love her. This makes me so happy, knowing they have a mother figure throughout all the drama of the past 3 years. Last night, my kids met another family with kids, so they spent the night, which left me and my wife's sister alone. We talked about the kids and life in general, and with the mood and atmosphere, we could both tell something was going on between us. Then I kissed her. She stopped me, asking if I really want to do this and that this doesn't seem right. I told her I did and I feel like we could both feel it. So we ended up sleeping together. We got home from Fiji this morning. When we walked in, my wife was waiting on the couch and she was very upset. She asked why I brought her sister to the trip because I could have just discarded her ticket. Well, no, I couldn't have. Even though I'm well off, I teach my kids the value of money. And I thought she knew what was happening anyway. She wouldn't calm down unless her sister was gone. So I told them to wait in the car. I sat down with her and asked her if she had guys over when we were gone. Of course, she did. At this moment, I was questioning if I was the father of my children. So I asked her, and she said that she had slept with one guy a little before my daughter was born. My stomach dropped. She said she didn't think it was his because of how much my daughter looked like me, but also said the guy she slept with kind of looked like me. So I'm planning to get a DNA test done on both of my kids. I told her after that I wanted a divorce and to my surprise, she got upset, not the kind of upset when you get up and start crying, the kind when she lowered her head in disappointment. I saw in her eyes, she realized what she had done, how badly she screwed up her relationship with me and her kids, not to forget her sister as well. She said she was so sorry for how she treated me and hopes we can work through it. I thought about it because I saw the girl I fell in love with again, the girl whose laugh brought me happiness, the girl who knew how to make me smile. But then I remembered what she put me and the kids through. So I stood up, and told her there was no way in hell she was getting another chance. And if she really wants to see the kids she can, but on their terms. I told her my lawyer would be in touch and I would be open to renting her a temporary room until the divorce is done. I let her grab a few of her items and watched her to make sure she didn't take anything of mine. I called her an Uber for wherever she wanted to go in the meantime. I also told her I'd let her know where she'd be staying. She left rather peacefully but kept her head down on the way to the car. My kids came out and asked me what happened. I told them mommy's not staying with us anymore, but if they want she can come and visit them whenever they want to see her. I told them to go upstairs and unpack, so this gave me time alone with their aunt. We sat down and basically talked about everything, what happened on the trip and what will happen now. We agreed to try and start dating, but after my divorce is finalized, which is best for the kids to cool down. They will see their aunt whenever they want, but she is not going to live with us. Also, she isn't married. I wouldn't be doing this with a married woman, so yeah, this leads me to now. We just finished a paternity test at the clinic. I got the results back and both kids are mine. I am over the moon that these kids I love so much are 100% my blood. My kids and I have all started counseling, with 2 sessions a week. Their first session was after school and it already seems to be helping. Now onto the topic I think everyone wants to know about, my ex-wife and I. I'll start with my ex. I got her a studio room last night. I don't know what she does during the day, but I don't care. She has told me that she's willing to fight for custody of our kids. Unfortunately for her, it looks like I'll be getting full custody of the kids. They don't want to see her right now and I don't blame them.